What's up, car family? Happy Thursday. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're doing good. Happy New Year, and hope everybody had a good holiday, good time with your family. And it's been a little while since I made a video. I've got some cards that have built up. I hadn't been feeling it. I hadn't had an opportunity to really make videos. Been busy with a lot of different things, but I got some coming. And I'm definitely still collecting cards. And much respect to those that film themselves when they make videos, because I don't know how to engage with wherever I'm supposed to look to make it look like I'm looking at you. But anyhow, I want to do a video for Baseball Collector Mike's YouTube Hall of Fame voting. And before I get to that, I want to make a couple comments. I just happened to, I'm starting to see some videos and some responses and the chatter on social media and that sort of thing. And I get it if people don't agree and don't agree with the way he's doing it, and think it should be done different, and don't like his suggestions and all of that. But man, number one, I think y'all are taking things way too seriously. Like, it's YouTube, guys. Okay, it's YouTube. We make videos of cards. Like, it's not that serious. Whether or not people get into this YouTube Hall of Fame really don't matter a whole heck of a lot. Okay, it's a popularity contest, but like, man, that you can go on ranting about something like this for 35 or 40 minutes is unbelievable. And I feel like it's gotten to the point where people are just using it to create some kind of controversy or to get people stirred up. And there's a lot of love in this community. There's a lot of there's a lot of folks that get along despite possibly political differences or religious differences or team differences or whatever it might be. A lot of us, man, we get along great. And to let something like that, like, here it's, I know you say, I don't understand it. It just seems, it's like everybody's trying to say what Mike is doing is cliquish in a popularity contest. But I think the bandwagon videos attacking Mike and, coming up with all these different reasons why he's not doing it right are the same thing. Because by doing that, you're getting this group of people to latch on to what you're saying. And there's always going to be that group of people that wants to do that and be negative and have negative things to say. And I think it's silly. But either way, cheers to everyone, and cheers to you as well. Mike, I appreciate you doing it. I think it's fun. He did give some criteria. I gonna work within the criteria he said, and then he had some, here's some things I might consider. I don't have to consider that. He didn't ask me to. He didn't tell me to. Ask me to. If he did, if I want to play along, then I would do that. So for me, I kind of developed my own way of doing it, and I came up with 9 names. I couldn't come up with 10. And to be 100% honest, if we're talking about a Hall of Fame, like, I'm gonna tell you, man, most of you guys that I follow and I'm friends with on here, and I'm friends with y'all, and I watch some videos now. I don't watch as many as I used to. I don't think y'all have Hall of Fame quality material. I'm sorry, you don't. I don't think I do either. The stuff y'all are putting out, if we were talking about Hall of Fame, oh man, most of y'all stuff is not creative. It's somewhat boring. Cards, man, I tell you, I love cards, but man, sometimes watching people show the same thing over, it gets boring, man. And I don't think there's a lot of actual Hall of Famers. Like Pepino, man, Hall of Fame. That's sheer entertainment. I'm trying to, damn, I can't think of my other guy that I like so much. But anyway, I just wish people would do something different and get out of the box. I'm as guilty of it as anyone, but I don't think there's a lot of Hall of Famers in this community. Pretty much all of mine are football guys or niche guys. I don't watch the baseball videos. I don't watch baseball guys. I check out Baseball Collector every now and again because we're friends. I consider us friends, and I like to support him. But and I don't think his videos are necessarily boring. But a lot of the baseball videos I find them dry, dull, and extremely boring. You know, a lot of the baseball guys are so tight. Like, I don't know if tight is the word. They're strict to you know, the way they do things, and I've found that the people I gravitate to are more fun, loose, you know, not so regimented in the way they do things. And the guys, my best friend, Bronx Bombers, who I think his channel has greatly improved. The way he presents has greatly improved. You know, he's all into like set registries and all that mess, and PSA set registries. And dude, I don't care about any of that shit. Like, it doesn't intrigue me. You know, and a lot of the baseball guys are, and I don't really care. So I don't find that interesting. Doesn't mean a lot of these guys are my friends. I love them, but you know, that's just not probably who I would vote for. So without further ado, get into my list. This is probably too long of a video. I've probably messed everything up by going for 7 minutes just talking already, but I apologize. So I picked categories. So I picked a TTM guy. Caleb's cards, TTM, autographs, and more. He's my first choice. These are in no particular order. I don't watch Caleb an awful lot, but I watch him enough to know that this guy is a TTM extraordinaire. I don't find his videos particularly all that exciting or that creative, so I don't think he meets that part. But as far as TTMs go, man, I think he is one of the best in the business. And if you subscribe to any of the websites where you can get TTMs, you'll see Caleb's cards, like where the people report, you know, hey, I got a TTM from this guy, I got a TTM from this guy. Caleb's cards, Caleb. He's all over the map. And he collects sports autographs, entertainers, everything you can think of. And I think he's very unique. You know, I think what he does is very unique, and I think it has a big impact on the community. It has a big impact on me because I see him go after autographs, and I'm like, man, I want to send that guy too. So that's my first nominee: Caleb's cards, TTM, autographs, and more. Number 2, I wanted to pick a person that, not a breaker, but a person that opens product just to open product. And so to me, this is an informer. You remember the Snow song, Informer? Yeah, so an informer. And I think I nominated this guy last year. I'm going to nominate him again. Packer Cards 87. He's the reason I do YouTube videos. I've told him that. I found his channel several years ago, and I watch his channel and watched, not so much anymore because I wouldn't pay for a hobby box. I wouldn't buy a hobby box with my own money if you gave me the money. You couldn't pay me to buy a damn hobby box, but I used to. So Packer Cards 87. Man, he's perfected what he does in showing product and opening product. He is, when I started my channel, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be Packer Cards 87. He's still doing it. I don't know how many subs he's got, 30,000, I don't know. But he's great at what he does. He's a good guy as far as I can tell. I've met him in person, shook his hand, told him, you know, you're my inspiration, man. You're my inspiration. I don't do it like he does anymore, but you know, he's really what got me going in this. And you know, I think just his consistency. You know, he's constantly making videos. He's a presence in this community. And so Packer Cards 87 is my second nomination. I also wanted to nominate just someone that I found entertaining, which would be somebody like Pepino Man. Although Pepino is a serious card collector, don't get it twisted, but he is also very entertaining. So I don't necessarily think there's a lot of production value with this guy's videos. I mean, as much as anybody else there is, but I'm going to go with Adam Ha. And I've known Adam since I got into the community. I think I started in 2016. I don't think he has a ton of followers, but Adam's just funny, man. And I don't think he's trying to be. I really don't. Maybe he is, but Adam's just entertaining to me. He's funny. I can watch Adam type, and the words come across the screen, and it makes me laugh. And so I enjoy that. He's a big Rams guy, St. Louis Cardinals. He doesn't do a ton of content anymore, but he opens stuff in women's bathrooms, which is can be somewhat entertaining and awkward. He's an interesting guy, and I find him very entertaining. So I nominate Adam Ha. Let's see. All right, I wanted to get a versatile all around channel. So I chose Dustin and Blake, which is Dustin Abraham. I'm pretty sure I nominated Dustin and Blake last year. So here you've got a father-son team, which is cool. A lot of times the camera's looking at Blake. Blake opens cards as Dustin kind of narrates, and you get Blake's, Blake's like expressions and what he thinks, and that's enjoyable. But not only that, Dustin is a huge Minnesota Vikings collector, Minnesota Twins, Kirby Puckett super collector, and he has really, really given back to this community because he created a Facebook page called Super Collectors Unite. And, I don't know how many people are in that group now. Check it out. I'll try to put a link to it in here. I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off. It's called Super Collectors Unite. And there's a lot of dudes in there. I'm in there. I super collect. Emmett Smith. But, there's guys in there with these massive collections. And it's just a place to, share your pickups, post pictures, share your counts, how many cards you got. There's baseball, football, basketball, all kinds of dudes in there. It's really cool, really awesome. Not only that, but Dustin helped me a lot with TTMs. He's given me a lot of guidance in TTMs. I hit him up all the time. I'm like, man, what do you think of this card? Should I buy this? Whatever. He gives me advice. He's got a nice beard. He's got a good singing voice. And Dustin's creative. Dustin is one of those guys that'll do a creative video every now and again. The Walmart video. He's in Walmart, and I don't remember what he was having people do, but he was in Walmart and getting people to interact with him. One of the best videos of the year. Get out of the box, be creative. But really just creating that super collectors group, which I will say was heavily influenced by Bronx Bombers also, and we were inspired by guys like Tops 85 401 and another guy that I'm going to mention for the Hall of Fame. But those are guys that have inspired that group and inspired that idea. So Dustin and Blake, kudos, man. I don't know if you're going to get a lot of votes. I bet you get less votes than last year because just the hype from the card family wanting to get in there and vote all their guys in has died down a lot, except for what Cards of Giants is pushing, which I don't totally 100% support. But yeah, I hope you get in, man. And he also has a collaborative channel called D&D Cards, something like that, with Dustin Bellinger. So Dustin Bellinger is another nominee of mine. And so with Dustin Bellinger, he's kind of my Mike O nominee. Very knowledgeable. He's a vintage guy. He's a oddball collector, collects just a lot of crazy weird stuff, has sent me some really unique things. But he also runs a PSA he does a PSA submission, several PSA submissions every year. And he started a Facebook page as well, which I'll try to link in the description. I don't know what it's called. Dustin Bellinger's PSA submission group or something like that. Probably a lot of you who actually watch my channel already know. But yeah, so he's got a PSA submission group. I've submitted probably 3, 4, 5 times with him to PSA. Super cheap, super reliable, does all the work. Doesn't want to make a dime. Now, I'm not saying he don't make a dime. He might make a couple bucks. But, you know, it's just a... and Maiko does it too. And Maiko's in the Hall of Fame. But, you know, that's a contribution to the community. I will say, you know, Dustin's content is not like blow you away or anything. But what he does, the way he collects, how he collects, his consistency, and what he contributes to this community, I think is Hall of Fame worthy. All right, so I wanted to nominate. I just want to throw this guy in here because I think it's only right to recognize this. I don't know. I don't want to mangle what it's called when someone passes away and then they're nominated for an award. I know there's a name for that. I'm trying to be serious right now. And I don't want to mangle that, but this gentleman passed away this past year. He was a YouTuber, and I would like to nominate him for the YouTube Hall of Fame. His name was Joe Ryan Fan 30. I was subscribed to him. Several other guys were. He was a Dodger collector, made a lot of videos. They weren't necessarily great, you know, but he was friends with a bunch of folks in here. And, you know, I want to, you know, he passed away this year, and I haven't seen a lot of YouTubers pass away. And so I want to nominate him for the Hall of Fame. So I nominate Joe Ryan Fan 30. Rest in peace, and blessings to your family. So yeah, Joe Ryan Fan 30. Where am I at on my list? And I've been hopping around. I haven't stayed on course. Joe Ryan Fan. All right, I want to nominate a breaker. And I'm going to nominate Snodzilla Breaks. And Pat is, I've given him so many times. I've said nice things about him, and I've meant every one of them. I've met him in person. First of all, he's a super nice guy, but you know, he started in this community as just a regular, you know, YouTuber like us, showing cards with his daughter and giving cards away, and kind of evolved into this breaker. And the thing about Pat is a couple things. Number one, you know, is the trust. And it's not just me because I'm friends with him, or the card family because we're friends with Pat. If you're in a break with Pat Snodgrass, all right, with Patrick Snodgrass, if you're in one of his breaks, I can guarantee you, no matter who you are, that everything will be fair and on the up and up. Like, you will not be cheated. There's not going to be any cards going under the table. If Pat's video goes out, if lightning strikes and video goes out while he's opening a box of Immaculate, you know, I trust Pat, and I with everything I've got. I'd let him watch my kids. I'd let him stay in my house when I wasn't here, not when my wife was home. But I trust him, and because he's good looking. Pat's a good looking guy. He's redhead, so you know what they say: red on the head, fire in the hole. I trust him though, and he's that kind of guy, and I think that's important in a breaker. And secondly, you know, a lot of these breakers, man, again, and not to knock the baseball guys, but you get in their breaks and they're so serious. They're so serious, man. And it's so regimented and it's boring, dude. Pat's breaks, it's a blast, man. And it's the comments, it's the interaction with Pat. He's got a radio voice. It's the way he handles himself. You know, he doesn't deter us from having fun in the break, and we do have fun. He's generous. He gives. He gives away free stuff. His prices are great. And I'm not trying to get people to go break with him or anything. Whatever. He's going to fill up whether you do or not. But he is by far, you know, and shout out to Eloy the Goat Flores, because Eloy's the man too. But Pat, when it comes to breakers, is that's where it's at, man. And so I'd like to nominate Snodzilla Breaks. All right, I got one more for number 9, and I wanted to nominate someone with just an incredible collection, a super collector, somebody that I've been friends with almost since day one, since I got in this community. Somebody that I started really got me going in this community, and that's Antonio Collazo, and he's now called the Collazo Effect. He collects mostly Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck. He's migrated to Drew Brees now. What drew me to him was his Ezekiel Elliott collection. I think as far as the Peyton Manning collection goes, the guy has probably the most amazing Peyton Manning collection I've ever seen. The Collazo Effect, Effect, not Effect, Affect, Effect. Check him out. Check out his collection. Incredible Peyton Manning collection. But not only that, when you get into quality, this guy, and I'm not saying he has a lot of special effects and stuff, but the clarity on his videos, like he can show me a card in his video and send it to me, and I'll look at it in person and like, man, it looks better. It looks better in the video. I've never seen anything like it. I don't know what kind of camera he uses, so you're getting in just for buying a nice camera, Antonio. But seriously, the quality of his videos, the consistency, the consistency with which he has built his collection, the focus, the inspiration. So when I said earlier, who inspired the super collectors, it was Topps 85 401, Antonio. Antonio was doing that, Peyton Manning, the count and stuff, and man, it really inspired a lot of us. And I know there's other guys that do it and have bigger collections and have more. I think there's a bigger Bonds collector than Nate, but those guys are who inspired us to start that group. And that's the impact on the community. And last but not least, with Antonio and all of these guys that I mentioned, he's a fantastic dude. Just a great guy, good friend. Has sent me some hella care packages. I'll say that. That's a good way to get in the Hall of Fame. I tell you, if you want my vote next year, people, care packages, big old care package. I'm joking. Because there's people that sent me some nice care packages, and I didn't vote for your ass. Yeah, that's right. Some of y'all might already be in the Hall of Fame. So just to recap, Adam Ha for his entertainment value, Caleb's cards, TTM autographs and more, TTMer, Dustin and Blake, all around. Dustin Bellinger, contributor, PSA, does the PSA submissions. Joe Ryan Fan 30, rest in peace. Packer Cards 87, your product revealer, your fashion model, Snodzilla Breaker, and the Collazo Effect for just best collection, super collector. A lot of football guys. I know I said a lot of things in this video that might seem like I'm being negative or attacking or like saying I find the baseball guys boring and stuff. I sub to a lot of them, man. And some of them aren't boring, like Silver Jackify. That's an entertaining dude. But yeah, I ain't into baseball, like it's not that exciting to me. So I don't mean it negative. I think it's good to lay out, what your reasoning is and what you think about things. Cheers to Baseball Collector Mike for putting this together. The negativity is laughable, and I wish it didn't have to be about that. The attacking of someone for creating something for us to do. I don't know. Do something positive and create something else for us to do. Like Russo when he does all these contests for us or something. Like, why does nobody criticize the way Russo sets up his contests or whatever? I don't get it. Like, remember when Russo did the YouTube, like the president and vice president and treasurer and did all that stuff, and nobody was like, oh, why are you doing it like that? And like, what the fuck, man? Like, I don't get it. But anyhow, I appreciate y'all watching. I know nobody made it 25 minutes. If you made it 25 minutes, I want to know. Y'all keep it real. I'm out. Happy New Year.